Welcome to the Books Between Friends podcast.
3 lifelong friends,
one shared obsession.
Books.
From epic fantasy to page-turning thrillers.
We dive into the stories we love
And the ones we just can't stop talking about.
So take a seat,
Grab a drink,
and get cozy.
All right, welcome back, book friends. And speaking of cozy, what's been keeping you guys cozy these days? So for me, we are in the middle of a 4-day weekend impromptu because of a snowstorm, and I'm just enjoying all the cozy days at home. I haven't left this house since like Friday.
That's amazing.
Same. 100%. Yeah. So I guess that's been keeping me cozy too, whether I want it to or not, you know.
Right.
We are quote unquote snowed in Texas. Like, we don't even have, honestly, if I look out, it's like less than an inch of snow, but also like an inch of ice. So so that's the real reason we're iced in, I should say. We're iced in.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got some major snow yesterday, and
I heard.
it was really fun. Like, we went and took a walk, and I was like, why do I feel like a 6-year-old kid again? You know, like it's so like quiet outside when it's snowing because everyone's inside.
Yeah.
And it was like
So
really
true.
quiet but really cool.
Yeah.
And then we took the dogs out too, and they got a kick out of it. Like, they were so excited and like frolicking in the snow.
Aw.
And so it was really fun. It was a good time yesterday, but now the sun's out and things are starting to melt and it's gross
getting
and
sloshy.
icky.
Yeah.
Yes. No, thank you.
Well, lucky for you guys, I tried to go out in the snow yesterday. I live in Austin and they live in the Dallas area, and I almost fell because it was straight up ice.
Oh no.
So like, if you look outside the window, it looks like my backyard was covered in snow, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Baxter, let's go. And so we go outside, I step on it, and I was like, okay, this is not snow, you guys.
Nope.
How
Solid ice.
disappointing.
So I was
Dang.
like, womp womp, can't go play in it. Because a lot of the people around here were
Yeah.
like sledding and stuff. I'm like, that's not me. I
Mhm.
know I'm clumsy. I know that something's gonna happen if I try to like sled or skate or whatever. So I didn't get to play in it, but I did, like, I am loving the being at home part. Like, a lot of people are getting on my nerves complaining on Facebook about like, when are we gonna get out of here? I'm like, how much longer can we stay home? Actually.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm enjoying every
Complete
bit of
opposite.
it.
Yeah,
Yes, like, keep me
please
here.
leave me home.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so funny, like, really quick. I had a meeting with my professor on Thursday before the snowstorm came in, and he lives in Kansas. And so he was asking me like, hey, are you guys anticipating snow? I'm like, yeah, just a little bit. And I was telling him about our snowstorm. And I said, what about you? And he started laughing. He's like, oh, that's cute. He's like, it's been snowing here for a while now.
Yeah.
He was like, of course
They're
we're
used to it.
anticipating more snow.
You Texans.
I was like, oh, duh.
Yeah.
Haha. Yeah. Like, I obviously didn't stop to think when I asked that question.
Yeah. Okay. So before we dive into part 4, our final discussion of Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Ethan for a quick spoiler warning and a shout out.
Yay. So excited to get into this discussion today, y'all. But before we do that, if you're listening to this episode, this is your spoiler warning. We're assuming you finished reading Red Queen because there will be some major spoilers throughout. So please don't listen to this episode if you haven't read it, because that would be a heck of a spoil. So
Yeah.
don't do it. Don't do it. In addition, we'd like to ask for a quick favor from our loyal listeners here. If you've been loving our book chats, we'd really appreciate it if you wrote us a quick review on Apple Podcasts. It helps more book lovers find us and keeps our little bookish community growing. And we would love to give you a shout out on our next episode as well.
Yes, please. All right. So, as we always do, before we dive into our discussion, I'm going to go ahead and read us a quick summary of this 4th and final section of Red Queen. All right. As the court leaves for the capital of Archeon, tensions tighten fast. Cal is barred from going to the front and instead plans to join Ptolemus hunting guard members in the city. Julian also quietly disappears, taking a position in Delphi, but not before leaving Mare with something far more dangerous than a goodbye. Maven reveals that the bombing was actually Cal's fire accidentally setting off an explosion, but the court is using that lie to further vilify the Scarlet Guard. Worse, red blood found in the dungeons will be tested against the blood base, a database of every red citizen. And so Mare admits that the blood is hers, and Maven promises her that he will fix it, deepening her trust in him. In Archeon, Mare is forced to publicly announce brutal new laws for Reds, curfews, mass surveillance, executions for crimes, and lowering conscription age, as well as incentives for betraying Scarlet Guard members. Alone afterwards, Mare discovers Julian's gift, a hidden list revealing that her brother Shade and dozens of other Reds shared her same mutation. And Julian confirms Mare is not unique and warns her to find them before the wrong people discover what he has. The Scarlet Guard secretly contacts Mare, leading her and Maven to Nersei, a hidden city they use as their headquarters. Mare gives Farley Julian's list, hoping they'll use it to build an army that can challenge the Silvers, but Maven pushes them for a faster plan, convincing Cal to overthrow the king. Walsh is caught spying on Cal and Ptolemus, but takes a poison pill before revealing anything. And the next morning, the Scarlet Guard bombs the bridge connecting the east and west bank of the city, sending the palace into chaos. Mare pleads with Cal to take the throne, but he refuses and has Mare and Maven arrested instead. They're taken to face the king and queen, and Alara invades Mare's mind, discovering the depth of her involvement with the Guard. The king accuses Mare of manipulating Maven, and then the truth detonates. Maven and Alara have been working together all along to infiltrate the Guard and eliminate the king and Cal so that Maven can take the throne for himself. Alara takes control of Cal's mind and forces him to behead his own father. Mare and Cal are branded traitors, imprisoned at the Bowl of Bones and awaiting execution. Mare learns the full cost of her trust in Maven. He reveals Julian, Lucas, and Sarah Skonos have all been captured, and Julian's entire list will be hunted down as well. Lucas is executed, and Maven publicly frames Mare as a fraud and Cal as a murderer before sentencing them both to death. Cal is forced to fight alone against 5 Silvers, including Evangeline and Ptolemus, while Mare's ability is suppressed by Arvin, a silencer. But when Arvin is killed by a strong arm, Mare regains control of her lightning, and together they survive the execution. Maven orders a firing squad to surround the arena, but before they fire on Cal and Mare, a storm erupts. Lightning strikes the arena, and unseen allies open fire on the Legion. Then Mare wakes in the Undertrain with the Scarlet Guard, including her brother Shade, who is still alive and able to teleport. They know what comes next. Maven is now king, and the race to find the other Reds with abilities before he does has begun.
So much
So
happened.
good.
I know, you guys. It took me so long to shorten this summary because there was just so much going on in these chapters.
Oh my
it was crazy.
God. It was like
It was
reveal,
boom, boom,
reveal,
boom.
reveal,
Yeah.
reveal.
Yes,
I
one
was-
after the other.
Yes.
Lots
I
of
remember
stuff.
listening to these chapters in my car and just like driving. I'm like, oh, what just happened? I was like, rewind.
Yeah.
Same. I was doing a combination of like listening to it in my car to and from work, and then I would read the paper copy at home and be like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that. All of the above. It was so good.
I still don't understand how this is YA though. Well, I guess Hunger Games was YA as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. True. Let's get into it, y'all.
Okay. I know.
Yay!
Let's go. Okay, so as a reminder, we like to do what's called a 3-2-1 structure. So we'll start off with 3 things that stuck out to us from these chapters. Then we'll hop into 2 character moments. But since this is our final discussion on this book, we're going to wrap it up with our final reviews. So starting with our 3 things, my first thing came in chapter 22, when they were sailing by Mare's house, she noticed her family didn't remove the star for shade on their banner. So, like, throughout this whole time since we discovered that Shade was killed, I've still been holding out hope that he was alive. And so she even like thought to herself, like, oh, maybe, but then she just said to herself, oh no, maybe it's just a form of rebellion on their part. But for me, it kind of made me wonder, oh, maybe he's still alive. And hopefully that means her family knows this too. So, what did you guys think of that moment?
Confused though, because they were the ones that broke the news to Mayor that Shade was dead, and
Yeah.
they were all pretty broken up about it too. And so, if they knew he was alive, why tell Mayor a lie then? Right?
Not so certain that it maybe goes with that timeline. Maybe they truly thought he was dead at the time, and then he revealed himself later.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't even think about that until you just said it, Steph, because
Okay.
I was convinced that he was dead
No, he was gone.
after
Yeah.
after Julian's research came about,
Okay.
and he gave her the list. I was like, oh, I guess this is confirmation that he actually is dead, and we're putting that nail in the coffin,
True.
so to speak.
Yeah, because so Julian actually left her a book, and in between the lines of the book, he also added in like a note to her explaining what this list of names is. And he also explained that Shade was one of 20 something soldiers that had been taken from wherever they were to the specific, like transferred to the specific legion, and then either executed or killed at the front. And their bodies were either like destroyed or misplaced. So Shade was one of those. So yeah, I can see how that felt like confirmation, like he's gone, you know.
Yeah.
And to your question, Jen, honestly, I don't know if it's true that her family knows this, but I could see them telling her that in order to protect him because she's so close to the royal family, you know?
True. Yeah, I guess it's true. I guess I didn't put a lot of thought into that scene where she saw the star
Yeah.
for Shade. Like it was more of like, okay, this happened. And I thought
Okay.
the same as Mare, like that it was a form of rebellion against the
Mhm.
Silvers, right? So I really
Right.
didn't give it much thought as like how that connected to Shade being alive or not.
Yeah.
I still thought he was alive. And I
Okay.
was waiting to hear more about that. And of course we got it. But
Yeah.
yeah, to me it wouldn't make sense why they would know and not tell her. But you're
Mhm.
probably right. Like she was
be.
with Cal.
Yeah. And
But
honestly,
considering
it
what
could
Laura
just
can do.
be
Yes,
simply foreshadowing on Victoria's part, you know,
true.
and not necessarily mean anything about the plot or anything like
True.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the second thing that stood out to me was in chapter 24 with Maven steering them away from looking for the other reds on Julian's list. That was just a huge red flag to me. Like, obviously, I've been saying since our last episode that Maven was looking suspicious to me, but
Yeah.
this part just, I mean, I'm telling y'all, like, sirens and red flags were flashing in my head because I was like, his alternative plan to convince Cal to overthrow the king, I felt like was way too risky, and it risked exposing not just Mayor but like the entire guard, and like
Yeah.
if it went wrong, like literally everybody would go down for that. So I just thought that wasn't a wise decision, and I couldn't believe that Farley went for it. What did you guys think of that?
Yeah, I was actually kind of confused. So when this was happening, I actually did have to rewind because again, I was driving, so you got to focus on the road, right?
Yeah.
And so I like the next stop sign, I stopped my audiobook and went back because I was like, what is happening here? Like, what are they trying to convince Mary
Right.
to do? Like, I guess I wasn't fully understanding what the plan was until it kind of went through. And so
Okay.
I kind of agree with Farley, and I hate to say that because I don't like Farley, but I kind of agree with Farley when she said, why are we putting all of our hopes onto this one little romance, this one little teenage
Yeah.
romance or whatever? That's what she said then, right?
Mm-hmm. But they still
Yeah,
went
like
with
what the
it.
fuck? I know, like
They
what the
still went with it. And like
That
to
was
both of your
crazy.
points that we said last episode, I think it was, she's not a good leader.
Yeah.
After the way things go down in this book, I'm not excited, but I'm intrigued to see more of her story, to see if she can
Okay.
grow as a leader, because she's right now she still has a lot to learn. You know, like there's
Mhm.
this rebellion is
Yeah.
very much in the beginning stages rather
Right.
than being a full-fledged thought. And we see that it's more thought out than what we originally thought, because we have like the city
Sure.
that
Yeah.
now Maven knows about, and then we
Oh my
have the
gosh. Yes.
train. So they have good infrastructure, but when it actually comes to leading, I don't know that she's got it yet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because she
Totally
did go
agree.
along with this stupid romance. Like,
Love-
what are you
Yeah,
doing?
Yeah.
even though she called out how crazy it was to like hinge everything on this,
She's like,
still went
sure,
with
let's
it.
go
It didn't make
ahead.
Let's
any
do
sense
it.
for me. So
Well,
yeah,
maybe
like
it's just so convincing, I guess.
maybe,
I mean-
but again, like I've been suspecting him since he joined, and
True.
like this moment was the nail in the coffin for me. Like I already pretty much had my mind made up about Maven, but this moment when he like laid out this shitty plan, in my opinion, I was just like, he's setting them up for failure.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah.
And then my third thing was in chapter 28. You guys, did I read this right? Mare created a whole storm.
Yes.
So
That's why I
like
read it
the
too.
implications of that, right? Like what does that even mean? Because up until now we just thought that she like was
storm.
able to produce lightning, but she created a storm somehow. There was one point like it started raining and then there was lightning that struck the arena twice, and then she realized that it was a storm of her making. So
Right.
like how, why, like what more could she do with that? What
I
are
mean,
your
she
thoughts?
she was scared and angry at that point.
Yeah.
Like, she was definitely super angry. She was like, "We won. What are you talking about? Like, we won that battle. What do you mean
Yeah.
you're gonna kill us anyways, you know?"
Anyway,
So like
yeah.
that came from her being angry. And I said it last episode. I was like, I want her to own her power and become Storm, like in X-Men, where she
Right,
like rises up full of all these like, you know.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
So maybe she does have that. I mean, this is also giving me another Violet moment where, you know, we don't know what she can fully do with her ability just yet, you know, and we don't know if lightning is the only thing she can manipulate there. So I
Right.
feel the same way about Mare. Like I read that the same too, Steph, where I was just like, she is creating this storm. She is creating this, you know, the lightning to come and touch down. So I thought that
Right.
was such a badass moment.
That was
It
crazy.
it really was. I read it very similarly. I was like, man, at first I was like, man, this is a great coincidence. There's a storm that's happening. Oh, and now she can use lightning. So at
Crazy.
first I was like, is someone maybe bringing in the storm and then she's playing off of that and bringing down the lightning associated with it? Like, is there a little team up situation happening? But then I was like, no, I think it's just her. Like, I think she's totally doing it solo. And I love that. Like, that was yet another reveal of what she can
Right.
do. You know, her back is up against the wall. She's scared out of her mind. Adrenaline is going through 100%, you know, and so this is what she can do under that kind of pressure. Like, what can we do once we learn how to control it? I'm
Exactly.
very
Right.
excited.
Yeah. Well, like that brings back one of the things that Julian wrote to her in that book was that this mutation that he found in her blood and all in the list of other reds that he had in this list, it's stronger than Silver's, but like obviously this is evidence of it being stronger because it's not just the manipulation ability. She can create this
Right.
energy and also create storms. So, and then like we also know that Shade can teleport, but like are there more facets to his ability? What about the other reds on the list? What can they do? And yeah, it's just exciting, you know.
You know, I know that you mentioned the battle and you just mentioned the storm, but when I was reading
Yeah.
or when I was listening to the battle scene, the entire time I was like, oh my God, take Arbin out. Like, just take him out so you can get your ability back.
know,
'Cause,
yeah.
you know, I was like, somebody fucking kill him, please. And
Right.
this is where I thought Shade was going to reappear. So I'm telling you, I
Okay.
still kept in my head that he was alive. I was like, he's going to come in.
Yeah.
This is where he's going to show up. He's going to, jump in and kill Arvin so that Mare can like use her
Mhm.
lightning ability and kick everybody's ass, because like once she
Yeah.
had it, like they had the battle won. So that's what I kept expecting. So like as I'm reading or as
Okay.
I'm listening to the scene, I was like, okay, Shade, where are you? Like, where are you? Like, this is where I know you're going to
Yeah.
reappear.
I thought it was going to be Kalorn or Farley, honestly, because we hadn't
Yeah,
heard what had happened to them yet.
exactly. I was also holding out hope that like some form of the Scarlet Guard would like come to the rescue in the end. But yeah, I didn't think about it being Shade. I mean, and they did rescue them in the end, so
Yeah.
it happened.
It was a great scene though. Like I was like, somebody
Yeah.
kill this motherfucker, please.
I know.
So, my three things. I just want us all to bask in how right we were throughout this whole novel.
Yeah.
Like, all
Yep.
of us had good points that were proven correct. So,
Yeah.
and yet I still effing enjoyed reading this book so
Mhm.
thoroughly. Like, it was just written in such a way that it kept me intrigued, even though I knew what was going to happen. I loved it. I just loved it. So, first thing I'm going to mention here is the blood mutation and leading to Shade's reveal. Fantastic. I think I clocked that like right in the beginning when we were
Yeah.
first talking. Like, where
Right,
does
yeah.
Silver, like, where does her ability come from?
Yeah.
Right.
And so it did make me think, and yet we're talking about Storm from the X-Men. Like, it
Yeah.
makes me think
Right.
that this is very that, and it is. Like, that's what's been proven because of the blood base. But
Mhm.
that's how they got all this information, how Julian got the info, and he was able to track that pattern that these, including Shade, had this same mutation that she has
Crazy.
with her blood. And so, yeah, that was super crazy, super interesting. I read that, I was like, ooh, that's interesting.
That's really cool.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
And how did Julian know this stuff though? Like, is it did actually you probably just said it and I was listening. You said it was based on the blood base, right?
Yeah, so he studied her blood and noticed a mutation
I'm listening, I
in her
promise.
blood. And then he compared that to all of the
Right.
blood base
Okay.
in this database and found all of these people in the blood base that had her same mutation, suggesting that they also have an ability.
So now they just need to track down where these people live.
Right.
Yes,
But
or where they
Maven
are.
also
yeah.
knows this too.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And they control the blood base anyway. So he knows that he can put people on like find the mutation, find the people in the blood base that have it, and find those people,
And let's test everyone, no matter what your age is now, like, so that way we can
Yeah,
weed these people
Track you
out.
down.
Mhm.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the race is on.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah, I love how that already sets up a premise for the future books. Like, we already
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the lead going into it about what we're looking at.
Mhm.
That was also really smart and well done. Okay. So that was my first thing. My second thing, called it again right here, Maven forcing Mare and Cal to spend more time
Yep.
together
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they became the fall couple. And we see that right there at the end, right where they're in the arena and
Mhm.
they're playing the video back of like their stolen moments. It
Yes.
looks like they're conspiring with each other. And I was like,
All
oh,
that
it's actually
footage.
happening. It's
Yeah.
actually happening. Oh my
So
gosh.
pissed about that. Oh, fuck Maven, man.
I know.
Oh,
Truly. But I love him. Like,
Yeah.
I love his
right.
character.
It was so good.
It was so well done. And I'll say it again probably many times throughout this episode, but I said it before, like when what book were we reading? And the villain just wasn't villainy enough.
Mhm.
We get that here in spades, both, Maven and Alara.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that later, but it was fantastic. And so this
Mhm.
perfect manipulation of events to where, I mean, Mare was like, you made us spend time together. Like you
Yeah.
you forced me into Cal. Like,
Set
oh my
that
gosh.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd y'all think?
Yeah, that was good.
So again, like I wanted to listen to our episode. I was listening to our episode after I finished reading the chapters and I was like, holy shit, how did Ethan call that specific part about making them the fall couple,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
whenever Maven was announcing like Cal and Mare being traitors or whatever, and then playing the video, I was like, he did that. He painted that
Right.
light of them coming up with this together, and Mare being the one that
Hmm.
manipulated Cal into being this guy. I was like, wow.
Right.
Well, I
He
mean,
gave no
basically,
shits.
no, and
Absolutely.
it was like everything Mare experienced. If I was truly like, if we were truly leaning in to Maven being the villain and the master manipulator, that means everything out of his mouth has been a lie.
Yeah.
And so,
Right.
even like, I think there were probably some genuine moments where he cared about spending time with her, but ultimately, no, she served a
Yeah.
purpose.
Yep.
And so that made me think
And in his
specifically
game.
about their
Yeah.
relationship. Yep, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it was so crazy.
It was.
Yeah, that was a good reveal. It's like, oh man, like
Yeah.
so many things going on. And y'all, that throne room scene
Oh my
was devastating.
I was crushed.
Devastating.
That's a scene that I was also listening to it and I kept replaying it back because it was
Yes.
happening so fast, everything.
Yeah.
At first it was like everybody's against Mare because the king is thinking that she manipulated Maven. And then the big reveal with Maven and Alara, and then Alara takes control. And then, just so much in that scene. It was like jam-packed with stuff.
I mean, it was like red wedding level devastating to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, it
I was
was.
like, oh no. Oh no,
Yeah.
as soon as Alara forced him to his knees, I was like, oh no, cue the
Oh
song.
my gosh. Yeah.
Cue the song. Like, oh, this is not gonna end well. And I was like, I knew exactly what was gonna happen. And I was like, no, I don't want to read it, but also keep going.
Crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, the king was just a puppet. To extend what you were saying last week, Jen, I think Cal is very shrewd. He's very adept at war and battle maneuverings. However, I think while he's been playing chess, his dad has been playing checkers.
Yeah.
Dad's playing
Yeah.
checkers, Cal's playing chess, Maven is playing 2 games of chess at the same time,
Yes.
and then Alara is playing Risk while
Yeah.
that encapsulates the rest of this. So
Right.
Man.
I
Very great
myself,
analogy, by the way.
right? Like it's just
Yeah.
games within games.
You know
Yes.
what's coming to mind right now is like the Russian nesting dolls where they like all stack
Yeah.
into each other.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like, and then there's this, and then there's one more, and then you keep going and keep
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
It's very that. Even now, like in my 30s, mind blown reading it, even
Yeah.
though we were like pretty spot on about what was going to happen. But I was like, had I actually read this when it came out, I don't
my
like
gosh, yeah.
my mind would have been blown. And I thought it would have
Yeah.
been like the solely great piece of literature I would have read.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, yeah, agree.
I was so upset for Cal being forced to be the
Mhm.
one to do it. Like,
Awful.
honestly, I thought they were just gonna hold Cal back and just kill the king. Like, I thought that's what was gonna
Mhm.
happen. So whenever like they both revealed who they were, I was just like, all right, they're gonna hold Cal back, and then Alara's gonna kill the king.
Right.
I absolutely did not expect that twist that they made Cal do it himself. I was like, oh,
Right.
they're gonna make him kill his own dad. The only person
Yeah.
who
They need
actually
the footage.
cares in this room.
They needed that footage. Yeah.
Like, I was so like, that was a great twist. That I did not see coming.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
was masterful manipulation there. I was
And
like,
then they played that footage at their trial to
Yeah.
show to the public, Cal killing his own dad, and
Yeah.
thus he's a traitor. Crazy.
mhm. I want to side note on her for just a second because
Okay.
just going back to what you were saying, Steph, with the storm. When
Mhm.
all this was going down, Evangeline, like I haven't been a fan of hers, but I'm putting
Yeah.
a question mark on her going forward because she
Mm.
was totally of the belief that Mare had been tricking them this whole time because she believed the lie that Maven was spinning. Because she even said when Mare got her powers back after Arvin was killed, she even said,
Yeah.
this isn't a trick.
Right,
And that's
like
when
she
she
was
ran,
surprised.
when she realized.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm putting a question mark on her. She's now the inside man there in that
Mhm.
court. She's in the den of vipers. But
Yeah.
there's an inkling that she knows the truth. And now she's gonna be one to watch going forward.
Mm. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what to think about her. I remember the first thing I said to Stephanie was, "What a scared little bitch running away like that."
True. True. Yeah.
Which, yeah, she did do that.
Yes, she
It's
did.
like, fuck you, Evangeline. But I did not put that together that she could be the one to watch later. I was just like, I kind of wish she would
Right.
have fucking died. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I felt the same way
Meet
about
your
her. I was
fate.
just like, I also felt the same way as Jen, thinking like she's still gonna be around, like being annoying as ever. But yeah, like I didn't think of it from that angle, Ethan, of, well,
It's a good
she knows the
angle.
truth because she's seen it.
Yeah.
And so, like, is she going to just like fall in line with this whole narrative of Mare being a fraud and not really having this ability? Or is she gonna actually, like hold on to, no, I saw it with my own eyes. She's a red and she has abilities.
Yeah.
We'll
That'll
see.
be interesting. So my first thing is Farley and the Scarlet Guard. I still don't have a good feeling about Farley. Like, even though the bomb thing got revealed that, it was not an actual bomb from the Scarlet
Hmm.
Guard and it got revealed that it was like an accident or whatever, I still don't have a good feeling about Farley. Like, Shade has been alive this whole time and she hasn't said anything. Why? Like, has she been behind all of this? Or is Shade the real leader of the rebellion and Farley has
Hmm.
just been filling in? Like, I don't know. I don't like Farley. I still feel like she's not a good guy. But like going into the next book, like, how are they going to hide Mare and Cal? I mean, they are two of the most wanted fugitives right now. Like, how is
Right,
that even going to happen? Especially with Maven knowing all of their secrets. Like, they know
right.
how they're traveling, they know where they're hiding. Are they going to
Hmm.
just magically come up with a brand new city to go hide at? Like, what's going to happen now?
No idea.
And I honestly, like, when Cal sent his legion after them, with that whole, trying to get Cal to side with them, I thought they were goners for sure. Like, he told them, he was like,
Hmm.
hey, they're in the tunnels or they're in there, whatever, go after them. Like, I
Right.
thought they were goners. So is this where Shade like stepped in and teleported them out to safety? Like, I still don't know what happened with that whole situation, you
Hmm.
know? Like,
Yeah,
what did you guys
well,
think?
so on your whole suspicion of Farley, I'm right there with you as well. I just haven't decided yet if she purposefully is sabotaging the rebellion or if she's just that bad of a leader that she would prefer the like quicker solution, even though it's failed her up until this point. And she just sucks at leading. But I just don't think she should be in charge.
No.
Like especially with Nope. Especially with that whole situation that I mentioned in one of my three things where she just went for what I thought was the riskiest decision,
Yeah.
which was to try to get Cal to overthrow the king. I thought that was a bad move on her end. And ultimately that decision was hers. She
Yeah.
she chose to go along with it.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I'm right there with you on Farley. And then, yeah, I don't know about like Cal and Mare being able to outrun Maven. He knows, like you said, all of their secrets. Like,
Everything.
what's next?
Yeah. Where are they going? Like, is there some place that
Right.
hasn't been revealed yet? Maybe?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I sure hope
Well,
so.
there's that. There were several scenes in this last section that we pretty much knew Maven was the bad guy,
Yeah.
and she was revealing she had the list. I was like, no, not the
No.
list.
I
And then
know.
they were in the underground train. I was like, no, not their secret hideout. I was like,
Yeah.
what are we, what are we doing here?
Giving
Oh,
Maven
this is
everything.
yeah, everything. So
Yeah.
they're gonna have to start over from square one.
Yeah, so Farley and the Scarlet Guard are a huge question mark going into book two. I'm very interested to see more about that. And then my second thing is another huge question mark, and that is Cal and his future. Like, what's gonna happen to Cal now? Like, what the hell? So,
Yeah.
bravo to Mare, for making him like react whenever that whole throne scene happened, and she was just like, hey, you have to run, you have to go, we have to go. I mean, they tried to escape, obviously they got caught, but also again, bravo to Mare for saving his ass in the battle. So like, Mare has been saving his butt um from the
Yeah.
moment that everything got exposed up until where they are.
Right.
So super crazy. I can understand why they want to keep him a prisoner. I mean,
Sure.
even Cal agrees himself that like he shouldn't be trusted and that he would do the exact same thing.
Hmm.
because they were already screwed over by Maven. I mean, look how easily he was able to
Right.
infiltrate them and how easily he was able to fool them and lie to them. Like, I wouldn't trust anyone else either after that, So, like, I don't know. And then there was one mention about him being a valuable prisoner. And so I'm kind of
Hmm.
thinking, like, they're obviously going to try to use him as leverage, but in what
Yeah.
way? Because,
Right.
Maven and Alara, the only thing they want from Cal is to be dead.
To
So are they
execute
gonna,
him. Yeah.
yeah, so are they gonna trade him, for other things? Like, I don't know that they
I
would
don't
be up to
know.
doing that?
Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily like gonna end up being like an exchange of prisoners or something like that, but maybe it'll be more leverage on like, oh, we have a member of the royal family who was also an eyewitness to your machinations and how you manipulated the situation to get the throne. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more gonna be like on that angle.
But is anybody gonna believe them? I mean, everybody saw the video.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. There's just so many unknowns around Cal right now,
Yeah.
but I do love that he was the good guy.
I
Yes,
know.
he's the
Yeah.
good guy.
Like he just unfortunately was also a pawn in this game.
Yeah,
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
I don't know. What do y'all think is gonna happen to him? Like, just first thoughts.
I think he's going to be alive, and because he's the rightful king, and so there has to be
Hmm.
that power struggle.
True.
And I think probably she will become the Red Queen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
and oh that
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, yeah,
Okay, I
true.
didn't see it going in that direction. I was thinking like immediate next thing for Cal is gonna be definitely a struggle to contend with not only what he was forced to do to his dad, but also like the fact that his brother Maven, because remember he like
He
I
loved
feel like he
Maven.
genuinely loved Maven,
Yeah, he
but
did.
like that was a bigger betrayal for Cal than it was for Mare being
Yeah.
betrayed by Maven, you know? And
Yeah.
then also like he didn't necessarily love his stepmom, Alara, but like that was his mother figure for
Yeah.
a good part of his upbringing. So I think he's just going to go through maybe an existential crisis for a minute
Yeah.
before he gets to the
For
point
a
where he
while.
chooses
Yeah.
a side, for lack of a better term.
Poor
Yeah.
cow.
Yeah.
All right. And my third thing is the updated love triangle, you guys. Okay. So let's update our love triangle.
Okay, let's do it.
Love rectangle,
So
love pentagon.
Yeah.
there was quite a bit of betrayal here. So what does this mean for our love triangle, you guys? I mean, we have Cal who betrayed Mare, we have Mare who betrayed Cal, we have Maven who betrayed them both, and we always knew Evangeline was only going to care about power and status, and so that's, she's kind of a question mark. So, did I get the sense, was this just me being crazy? Because I know we hate Maven, and I hate him too, but did we get the sense that maybe Maven cared about Mare a tiny bit, and that he was more motivated to betray Cal and Mare because of his jealousy for Cal's
So
feelings?
I'm
Did
gonna
y'all get that
speak a
sense?
little bit more on this in our character moments because I do have feelings about like Cal and Maven's true feelings towards Mare,
Mare. Okay.
and I think they're different. And so like I'll get into that with my character moment.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, I'm more intrigued with how Maven reacted when Mare mentioned Thomas again. So
Okay.
I don't know if his feelings were incredibly genuine. Maybe he truly did feel something for Mare. I don't know. But enough to where he was jealous. And that may have just been a thing where Cal has something yet again that he can't have. So,
Right. That's why I had like a little bit of a small sense that Maven had feelings for Bear. So
Hmm.
that was that update. So now I think that the love triangle is gonna be Cal, Kalorn, and Mare. Because Kalorn totally has feelings for Mare, and he revealed
For
that
sure.
whenever they were
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
he revealed
Oh
those
yeah.
feelings for her whenever they were trying to talk about how they were going to try to recruit Cal over or whatever.
Right.
And so that I was like, okay, that was obvious. He's in love with her. She's not
Hmm.
though, but so that's going to be kind of like an interesting little love triangle. And then as much as Mare wanted to be mad at Cal, she's totally still like feeling some type of way about him. And same with Cal. Like, I'm sure moving forward, he's probably going to want to ignore these feelings, but he was the
Hmm.
one trying to get her attention. He was like, okay, so what are you talking about? We're going to kiss and now you don't want to talk to me? Like, what's up?
Right.
So there's our new love
Yeah.
triangle. And I think Ethan had a point with Gisa, because now that they're going to
Right.
be reunited with the family, now we're going to see Gisa, Clorne, and Mare in a little love triangle. So I'm like, ah!
Okay. I was gonna
It
ask you, what
happened.
about Gisa though? But
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they're all accounted for.
They're all accounted for. As soon as she mentioned, or as soon as Shade mentioned at the end, or I don't remember who mentioned it, that they were getting reunited with Mare's family, I'm like, oh, okay, Geese is going to
Yeah.
be a problem now. She's going to, especially
She's
with
gonna be a
how, like,
problem.
she's going to be a problem because, like, the way that they left things, like, she did not seem like a big fan of Mare. So with
Yeah.
Kalorn, obviously showing his feelings towards Mare, and
Hmm.
Gisa obviously showing her feelings towards Kalorn, that's going to be a problem.
I'm wondering if we might see a little reflection between Cal and Maven as we do with Gisa and Mare. Like, we have some strong sibling dynamics there.
That's a
Okay.
good point. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think about that. So yeah, so that was one thing. I was like, man, there was so much betrayal. Like, we have to update the love triangle.
Yeah. Well, thank you to you, Jen, our romance analyst on the
Yes, thank
podcast,
you.
for
This
breaking
has
that
You're
down
been
for us.
welcome.
this has been our romance segment. Thank you, Jen. Signing off.
Yeah.
I could just see a lot of tension between Cal and Mare, and like I'm
Yeah.
already thinking in my
Oh yeah.
head that this is another Iron Flame situation where Violet's
Hmm.
gonna pretend to like hate, Cal, or I'm sorry, I said Violet. Mare is gonna pretend to hate Cal when really she's like pining after him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
who are you really kidding, girlfriend? Yeah.
Exactly.
Not
Exactly.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you guys.
Yeah.
So that was my three things.
No, I love it. It keeps things messy, and that's why we read, isn't it?
Yeah,
True enough. True enough.
that is very true.
Okay, so that ends our three things. So next we jump into our two character moments. So my first character moment was in chapter 25, just before they bombed the bridge. Farley gave Mare an earring from Clorne for her to wear, along with the other earrings that she wears to represent her brothers who were conscripted. So that was just such a heartwarming moment for me. And it really made me feel, I guess, a little more attached to Clorne as a character because, like, obviously he's been Mare's best friend growing up, and she really cared about him a lot because she kept trying to save him, like from conscription and then from the guard and like whatever she, and also like taking him out of the dungeons from the palace and all that
Oh yeah,
stuff. But
yeah,
Yeah.
this, like, it almost felt like one-sided where Mare was always like looking out for him, but like what was Clorne bringing to the table?
exactly.
And
Right.
yeah, and so this really made me feel more attached to him as a friend and someone who's like a major part of her life because it was like symbolic for her to put on that earring to represent him as like one of the most important people in her lives. So I thought that was just a sweet moment. What did y'all think?
I love that it was the same color of his eyes. I was like,
Oh,
oh.
yeah, that was
I
so
was like,
sweet.
okay. He obviously meant it in a different way. She probably took it as like, oh, he's my family. I love him like a brother.
Oh, I know.
So,
Therein lies the problem.
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. However, it was this moment that made me think, all right, Kalorn is stepping up to the plate now. He is
Yes.
officially in the game. And it made me think that there was probably going to be a romance with him and Mare.
Okay.
Because what I see in the future books is Cal isolating himself because he can't trust
Yeah,
anyone. Like he feels
Right.
right.
burned, and he has every right to feel burned.
Absolutely.
So he's going to isolate himself, and Mare's not going to take that well, and so she's going to settle
Hmm.
for the person that's going to be in her life at the moment, and that's going to be Kalorn.
Right.
Do the love triangle.
I know,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's all
Yes,
set up
I know. I
perfectly.
just explained how a love triangle worked. So, in case anyone
Yeah.
didn't know, this has been Love Triangle.
Right.
No, no, no. You explained it really well how Kalorn was going to play into this, because I have been talking about Cal
Right.
and Mare quite a bit.
Right. No, that's true. And like I think obviously she's going to lean on that for a little bit, but it's just not going to be like it. Obviously, I think we all three agree that like Cal is probably endgame for Mare at this point.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even though Clorn and her have history, it's not like that on Mare's end. So,
Right.
yeah. Okay, so my second character moment, and again, I'm gonna call myself out for cheating a little bit because it's kind of like a twofer. But obviously the big reveal with Maven and Alara revealing to Cal and Mare and the king at the time, may he rest in peace, that they have been scheming this whole time to get the throne for Maven. So like
So crazy.
obviously it was just like a revelation of Maven's true intentions, and that goes along a little bit with what came later was a moment when Maven visited Cal and Mare at the prison they were being held at, and he basically laid out his true character in this moment, in my opinion. And after like talking about some of his resentment growing up with Cal as his older brother, he turned to Cal and he said, "You took everything that should have been mine, Cal, everything." And he had listed Mare in this, not only the throne, but also Mare, who was his betrothed, right? And so that for me just set off red flags like, this man isn't even capable of love because his like ego and thirst for power is so much bigger than his ability to love. He didn't truly have romantic feelings for Mare in the sense that someone who truly loves someone wants the best for that person. No, he had feelings for Mare that were possessive
Right.
only because of what she represents. Like, she has this great ability that would give him power, that would give him clout, you know, like those are the things that he values her for, not who she is as a person.
And think about it from that perspective. That's yeah.
So
Yeah.
this really just like revealed to me Maven is rotted to the core, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess like the little sense of what I thought he was feeling towards Mare was definitely not that. Like because there was
Yeah.
even a moment where like he even said, "I can forgive you. I'm the king now if you want to be by my side," or something like along those lines. And she was like, "I would never want to be with you." And then he was like, "All right,
Right.
no, fuck you." But like I
Yeah.
thought I was like, oh, okay, does he want to be with her or he just wants something he can't have?
Yeah. It's more
I
so
think it's the
about
latter.
taking everything
Yeah.
from Cal that
Yeah.
he feels he deserves over him. It's not about her at all.
Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm.
Sorry.
I'm still like, oh my gosh, that was really good reading that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my two character moments. First thing here, Shade's reveal. Love it. Love it. I wasn't sure, like I said, I wasn't so sure that this reveal was actually going to happen. So kudos to Victoria for keeping me guessing. It was truly Julian's research that threw me off the scent here, because up until that point, I believed that he was alive and well. And then that was maybe this is just her, nuanced way of saying, no, he's actually dead. But yeah, I took that bait. I sure did. I should have held out until we saw more of the Scarlet Guard besides just Farley and Kalorn, because that's
Right.
all we really see for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've already talked about that one. And we've already mentioned this several times. But like I said, if you write a villain, do it right. And damn, this was
Yeah.
right in every sense
Yeah.
of the word. Alara and Maven, the duo, that was a match made in hell. I'm
Yeah.
here for it. I love it. Alara is giving see you next Tuesday energy. And for like our
1000%. Yeah.
our drag race people, charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent energy she is giving off, and she is Queen Bee, and I am intrigued by her character. She is
Yeah.
very
Oh, yeah.
much Cersei
I
energy
was
here.
just gonna say that. Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
exactly.
I
A villain
love
you
it.
love
These-
to hate. Yeah.
yes, love to hate her. Like, not like Umbridge, I hate to hate, like I do not like
Yeah.
that character.
Yeah.
I love to hate Alara here. Like
Yeah.
she's really good. So there are moments though when Maven and Alara are interacting with each other that makes me think that Alara is pulling the same trick that she did with Cal's mother.
Ooh,
Because
okay.
she does not fabricate feelings in someone. She picks up on what's already there and then she
Yeah.
just makes it fester.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maven was incredibly insecure his whole life about
Yeah.
being in his brother's shadow. She picked up on that, even though it's her own son. She picked up on it and she started manipulating him, I feel like.
Oh my gosh.
And she started
The
whispering in his ear.
manipulation. Crazy.
Yes. And so because we learn what happened to Cal's mother is that
Right.
Cal's mother had problems. It sounds like she had problems with depression in her life. And she picked up on that and made it to where she acted on those feelings, unfortunately. But it was by Alara's whisper power
Yeah.
that actually came to pass. So that's a sad story and one that was revealed here to Cal. So he's like, he just beheaded his own father because of Alara, and also Alara murdered his mother. So damn, that's a tough day.
Yeah.
To figure all that out in one go.
Yeah.
But
Right.
she is perfectly devious, and I love her character, and I love Maven's character.
Yeah.
What did
You
y'all
know
think
what I
about
love?
how all this went down?
Yeah, no, I agree with you about Alara being like a great villain that you love to hate. And like, I really like the way you explained how she uses her ability to like manipulate, maybe just an inkling of what someone may already be feeling, but like exacerbate it until it becomes like the only feeling that they have, or like the only thing that motivates them. And yeah, like how like scary and cunning and like really interesting to read about,
Well, I'm glad you brought her up because she was also one of my or my first character moment. And I said that I asked myself the same thing. I'm like, how much is she manipulating Maven to do what she wants? Because I'm like, how much is Maven actually like wanting this for himself? Like, obviously everybody wants to be king, right? Or, at least if you're power hungry, you do. So, I mean, I kind of get that part, but like everything else, how much is she still pulling the strings here? Because like,
It's almost like the question of like nature versus nurture. Would he have become this
right.
much of a villain if not for her manipulation? We don't
Because
know.
it gave me the sense that the king was actually not that bad whenever the whole throne
Right.
room like scene came around. I was like, I think he was actually good. I mean, he was very brokenhearted. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know about the way he runs his kingdom with the whole silver versus red thing, but at least within his
Right.
family, like you could tell he cared about both of his sons, like, and that she's been manipulating, Maven to pit them against each other. So like now I'm thinking her manipulating Maven into becoming king, what is her true end game here? Because Cersei, if we think about Cersei, like, yeah, she put her kids on the throne, but who ended up on the throne at the
Right.
very end? She did,
She did. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
I'm wondering if it could be like she and Maven have a falling out, and then now Maven has to go to the Scarlet Guard, but no one can trust him,
Ooh.
and rightfully
Yeah.
so.
I
So
don't
he has
Yeah.
to.
no, I don't see that. I don't know. Like you were able to sense everything else, so
It would be so interesting to see that development, honestly. I would think so.
yeah. Okay, so that was my first was Alara as well. She's the obvious villain, but she does it really well. And so my second one is Julian. Where is he, you guys? What's next for him? Like Cal made it sound
Yeah.
like he helped Julian escape, but then Maven made it
Right.
sound like he caught him. However, he wasn't at the execution like Lucas was. So
Right.
after Shade turned out to be alive, I don't think we're seeing the last of Julian. Like, I think he's going to be a very powerful ally to Cal and Mare. At least that's what I'm
Yeah.
hoping is coming.
Yeah.
But where is he? So that's good.
Yeah.
Like,
Good
where's
question.
Julian?
And yeah, good question. To your point, he was not executed like Lucas was. So I don't think we can trust Maven when he like insinuated that they had Sarah and Julian. So yeah, I'm hoping he's, like evaded capture somehow,
Me too.
because I think if they actually had him, they definitely would have executed him. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they actually do have him, and he might be used as leverage later on, because he would be a good rescue mission that would
Yeah.
raise the stakes later for the Scarlet Guard.
That's also true.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that can happen. Like,
Yeah. Crazy.
We were back and forth on Shade being alive and not alive, and
Mm-hmm.
it was, yeah, this has been a crazy ride.
Yeah.
It really has been, yeah.
And you know what's funny? And before we get into our reviews, I was thinking about this probably the other day. I can't remember when. All these days are like starting to blend. But I was thinking, I'm like, if this was such a huge betrayal in book one, can you imagine what more is going to happen in the rest of these books?
Like, who's
whoa.
next?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm so ready for it.
me too.
Okay, so that brings us to, instead of a theory or prediction, we're going to share our final reviews. I'm still cooking up mine, so I'm going to let you guys go first.
Well, I can go first. I had so much fun reading this book. A book that, to be honest, I have put off reading because just reading the back summary didn't really do much for me when it first came out.
Mhm.
And so I literally judged a book by its cover. And having read it now, this is one of my rare 5-star reviews. I absolutely love this, even though I was able to predict, like we were all able to predict what was going to happen. It was still incredibly fun reading it. I was like, I hope it goes this hard. Like, I hope she wrote it like to the full extent, and she got every bit out of the story that I was craving as a reader. Like, I wanted all of what she gave us, and we got it, and I was so happy reading it. So yes, this was a 5-star read for me for sure. I can't wait to read the rest of the series.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
same.
So I was back and forth quite a bit on how I wanted to rate this. So even after I finished, I didn't immediately rate it like I usually do. So usually I love finishing a book and then going to my computer and pulling up Goodreads and like putting my rating. I couldn't do that for this one. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to rate it. I didn't quite give it a 5. I gave it a 4.5. The
Okay.
betrayal, the plot twist, they were so good. Like Ethan said, we were able to call it, but the ending did not fall flat. Even though we were able to predict it, it still didn't fall flat. It was still pretty amazing,
Yeah.
still pretty mind-blowing. Like, holy shit. Victoria did a really great job of like holding me in suspense of what's to come next and like giving us bits and pieces of the puzzle through each chapter. And like, I was here for it. The imagery, the world building was incredible. I don't know that I'm in love with the characters though. Like, I usually can get pretty obsessed with some of these characters, but I don't know that I'm in love with these yet. Like, I'm very interested to see Cal and Mare's characters, and I want them to develop more, not necessarily as a couple, but like just individuals. Like, I don't have enough of them for me to be obsessed with them yet,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what kept me shy of a 5-star right there.
Mm-hmm.
And there were also some parts that are just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. So like, I'm very much looking forward to reading like Glass Sword. Like, I cannot wait to continue the series. It's so good.
Awesome. Okay, and I am also giving this one a 4.5 stars for very similar reasons to you, Jen. But like, that's not to discount how much I enjoyed this book. And even though, like you said, Ethan, we all kind of like called a few things that ended up being true at the end, like the journey there was still great. And like the reveals were still great. And sometimes, even if something is, a little bit predictable, I still feel like this was like a really good way to write something that, again, like maybe if I had read this before having read all the fantasy that I have read, I wouldn't feel like I could have predicted it the way that it came out. But
Yes.
if I had read it early on in my reading career, yeah, this would have also blown my mind. I just feel like at this point, and also what a testament to what I was saying at the beginning of our discussion on this book is like, I see all of the ways that this book has inspired a lot of what I love to read in the fantasy genre today.
Absolutely.
So like there's different parts of it that I can pick out from other books that I've read and loved. And so like now I can see like, oh, this is the inspo for all of that. So that's really cool to see. And like maybe for those reasons I could, maybe predict it a little bit. But like still, this was so well done. And then the only reason I couldn't give it like that extra half a point was same thing as you, Jen, because the characters to me still I feel like need to be developed a little bit more. And I also wasn't feeling the chemistry between Cal and Mare throughout the book, to be honest. So
No,
I'd
that's
like to
true.
see that develop as well.
Yeah. I can see myself giving future books 5 stars in this series,
Hmm.
because sometimes whenever you do have a series that's like 4 or 5 books, like book one to me usually ends up being anywhere from a 3.5 to a 4.5. Like it's very rare for me to give a book one a 5 stars.
Yeah,
It
that makes
happens,
sense.
but it's rare. And so I can see myself giving 5 stars to probably the other books, like depending on how
Right.
much they develop, like maybe even 3 or 4, like depending on how
Hmm.
good the story is, unless the story falls flat. I don't know.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
because I read slower, I prioritize, right? And so if I read a book one and I love it, I'm going to go ahead and give it 5 stars because it makes me want to read the rest of the
Mm.
series and spend
Okay.
my time on it. So, but valid points, which y'all are saying, I too feel the same way about, especially Cal and Mare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't that chemistry there at all, and maybe that was intentional because we get to see how it
Hmm.
develops over the next couple of books. But the plot of this one,
Yeah.
absolutely loved.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Okay, book friends, that was the end of part 4 and the final episode of our deep dive on Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Let's keep the discussion going. We are at Books Between Friends Pod on all platforms. Thank you so much for interacting with us in our socials. We look forward to chatting with you all about this book because it was amazing.
All right, guys. So next week, we are closing the chapter on Red Queen and stepping back into the mist. Next up on Books Between Friends podcast, we are diving into The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. We absolutely loved Mistborn, and it was only right for us to return to book 2. So, where victory creates new problems, alliances are tested, and no one is quite sure what the right move is anymore. God's new power in a world that refuses to stay saved. Our deep dive is coming soon. Are you ready to go back? Part 1 will cover chapters 1 through 12. Join us next time.